SED 390 Assessment to Instruction is one of your required courses during field-based. Here, we will go through the course overview, grading, and essential application for this course, the Evidence-Based Practice or EBP application. In SED 390, you will learn about educational assessments, approaches, and methodologies for a variety of learners across environments. The main application for this course is called the Evidence-Based Practice or EBP. This course will prepare you to design successful instruction through the application of well-researched, evidence-based practices. The grade earned in this course is a compilation of the performance on your major essential application, that EBP project, and related project progress, as well as the development, implementation, and assessment of your instructional plans. The final evaluation for all requirements includes the following: the process you employed, your comprehensive progress, and your final products. Process and progress are assessed through the independent, timely, and professional completion of the pre-plan and other documentation assigned by your university supervisor or program coordinator. Thus, your EBP pre-plans and preparation are vital to the success of your overall application. Please do also keep in mind that you will be completing your graded instructional plans and these additional requirements concurrently with your other courses. The grading procedures and scale for SED 390 are outlined here. The first 40% of your grade is based on your EBP application. The next 30% of your grade comes from 3 of your instructional plans that are scored by your supervisor. Lastly, the additional 30% of your grade comes from the weekly reflections on data, reflections from your CT, and your EBP pre-plan. The ongoing planning and reflections will be housed in your OneNote notebook and will be graded during notebook checks. The grades will be determined by your supervisor. You will select the instructional plans that you would like your supervisor to evaluate additionally and upload those to ReggieNet for the course they correspond with. Additionally, your supervisor will assess your instructional plan and your coordinators will assess your applications. Please keep in mind the grading scale for your courses, which is shown here. You must earn a minimum of a C in this course and all field-based courses. In SED 390, you will find an Assignments tab where you will submit your 3 instructional plans by 10 p.m. on the assigned Sunday due dates. You will also submit your EBP application commentary in this tab by the assigned date and time. Now, let's talk a bit more about the actual EBP application. The EBP provides you an opportunity to experience authentic assessment instruments, analyze data, and analyze the development, monitoring, and assessment of student performance. Specifically, this essential application allows you to practice your preparation for an annual review meeting for a student. You will assess eligible areas under a student's current IEP, discern their present levels of performance, and analyze the results relative to the IEP and daily classroom performance. For this data-driven application, you will first complete a Riot-ISIL framework. The teacher candidate will consider known information in each domain relevant to the purpose of assessment. The teacher candidate then will consider what the data indicates as the target skill area to address. Once you've done this, candidates will have pre-planned meetings to discuss their thinking before actually beginning the intervention design phase. Then, teacher candidates will evaluate their findings and analyze the effectiveness of the selected intervention in this application. This visual should act as your checklist in the process of creating your EBP application. Here you will see the required components, additional requirements, and more information about the presentation, which we'll discuss in a little bit. The evidence-based practice commentary prompts are the final products submitted according to the established due dates, those Sundays at 10 p.m. Additionally, upon your final submission of that graphic organizer, which we're calling the commentary, the aforementioned artifacts will also be completed and submitted as further documentation of the teacher candidate's process and progress. As is required by legal mandates, your interventions selected will be effective teaching strategies as cited by evidence-based best practices. You must also receive the university coordinator's approval of the intervention selected during the pre-planned meetings. The essential application pre-plan and graphic organizer must be completed systematically and comprehensively according to the field-based program. Presentations will be shared during module.
This is a visual of the graphic organizer or commentary, which you will complete and submit as part of your application. You will complete the boxes that are seen right next to the prompts as you go. And this will just all be filled in. We'll go over how much detail is needed inside of all of the pieces of the graphic organizer or commentary here.
Towards the end of this graphic organizer, you'll find a checklist we hope provides you with additional support. We know how much you all love a checklist, and this essential application checklist should help you make sure you have completed and attached all of the artifacts that are required with this submission. Pre-planned meetings are a vital part of the essential application process for the EBP application. You will need to prepare your responses ahead of time when you have your meetings with your coordinator. You will want to be sure you have all of the questions, documentation, evidence, and materials for your pre-plans prior to this meeting as well. The pre-planned graphic organizer shown here on the right should help you to be fully prepared. There's also an artifact checklist that corresponds to the graphic organizer. At the end of the application, you will have a pre-plan score which will be entered into SED 390 in connection with your EBP application. Please be sure you utilize your in-depth rubric every step of the application process. This is exactly how your coordinators grade your application. Thus, you'll want to prepare your commentary. You will also create a presentation about your EBP to share with your peers. This is really cool because it will help you to learn about multiple interventions and build your bag of tricks to use in the future. Requirements for your presentation can be found in this presentation rubric.